Tonight, Poilievre's pitch, taking the stage at the Conservative convention for the first time as party leader. His message to Canadians.
As an economy where the people who build our homes cannot afford to live in them is fundamentally unjust and wrong.
Hours after a Liberal minister crashes the party. The delays driving Canadians to cross the border for health care.
It's treatment that I should have been able to have at home.
The growing problem pushing patients out of the country. Plus, the major rescue operation underway 1,000 meters underground.
I'm doing well. Thank you.
The mission to save an American explorer stuck in one of Turkey's deepest caves.
CTV National News with Omar Sachedina. Reporting tonight, Heather Butts.
Good evening. A man who wants to lead this country and right now is leading in the polls delivered his vision tonight for Canada's future.
This is our country. This is our home. Your home, my home, our home. Let's bring it home.
Pierre Poilievre spoke in front of faithful supporters at the Conservative Party convention, but it was also likely a preview of an upcoming sales pitch to Canadians. CTV's Kevin Gallagher is at the convention in Quebec City tonight.
Mon mari est notre prochain ministre du Canada, Pierre Poilievre.
Introduced by his wife Anna, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre used her story to describe Canada as a land of opportunity.
Because it is only in this country that a Venezuelan refugee and the adopted son of school teachers could stand on the stage, the leading stage of Canada's oldest and biggest political party. Only here could that happen.
But it didn't take long for the Conservative leader to go on the attack over the high cost of living.
Mr. Trudeau, if you think life is tough for you, you should meet the carpenter I met at a Tim Hortons in the Sioux, who lives in a parking lot because he can't afford the rent.
After a summer where Poilievre has tried to soften his image, pollsters say high prices on things like gasoline, food, and housing could be reasons more Canadians are moving away from the Liberals. Former Progressive Conservative leader Peter MacKay even endorsed Poilievre's plan to eliminate the federal carbon tax, saying it hurts those living in rural areas most.
It is, again, a divisive and punishing policy that has been imposed on the country.
Who does not believe that we should be doing anything about climate change.
In an unusual move, Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault called a press conference in front of the Conservative convention to denounce Poilievre's plan as dangerous and counterproductive.
Yesterday, he falsely claimed that Ottawa is working to take away Quebecers' money to send it to Ottawa on carbon pricing. This is false.
Poilievre says he would reduce emissions by using carbon capture, nuclear power, and other green tech.
We will massively increase production of emissions-free energy by green-lighting green projects. They choose taxes, I choose technology.
Poilievre's narrative fired up supporters, but with an election up to 2 years away, the question is whether he can keep up the momentum he's seeing in the polls. Heather?
Kevin, thank you. There is new video tonight that shows the 2022 Freedom Convoy protests from the perspective of the Ottawa police. Footage from police body cams and surveillance drones show the scope of the blockade that gridlocked the capital for a month. These videos are now part of the Crown's case against two convoy leaders. Tamara Leach and Chris Barber are facing a criminal trial for allegedly conspiring to organize the protest. A Manitoba judge has released video showing the end of an hours-long standoff at a correctional centre more than 2 years ago. It was submitted as evidence in the trial of a guard charged in the death of an inmate. CTV's Dan Unger reports, and a warning, this story includes graphic video and may be disturbing for some.
video shows the moment an hours-long standoff at the Headingley Correctional Centre came to an end in February 2021. The video was submitted as evidence in the trial of Robert Jeffrey Morden, a corrections officer charged with criminal negligence causing death and failing to provide the necessities of life, in connection with the death of William Amo, an Indigenous inmate at the jail. Morden has pleaded not guilty to the charges. Court heard 45-year-old Amo became enraged and agitated during a standoff with officers after he believed he was the subject of a racist joke on February 7th. A comment court heard later may have come from another inmate. It ended after more than 3 hours when an emergency response unit, a tactical team led by the accused, entered the jail and extracted Amo. The group of officers, armed with batons, holding Amo on the ground. The video shows officers dragging Amo from the range, his hands and feet shackled as he's placed into a restraint chair.
I can't breathe.
Those words coming from Amo more than 20 times throughout the struggle.
I can't breathe. If you're talking to us, you can breathe.
The specific meaning of those words was questioned in court Thursday by defense lawyers in the cross-examination of Dr. Charles Littman, the pathologist who performed the autopsy after Amo's death. If you are out of breath, you might complain that you're having trouble breathing, defense lawyer Richard Wolson asked the doctor. If I run up a stair and I'm way out of breath, I won't say I'm having trouble breathing. Having trouble breathing would be when there's an obstruction to breathing, Dr. Littman responded. Shortly after being placed in the restraint chair, court heard Amo became unresponsive. He was taken to hospital in Winnipeg, where he died a week later on February 14th, 2021. Littman testified Amo's cause of death was hypoxic ischemic brain injury due to a lack of oxygen and blood supply to the brain from cardiac arrest. Danton Unger, CTV News, Winnipeg.
A prison officer on duty when a convicted killer escaped from a Pennsylvania prison has been fired. The guard was in the watchtower August 31st when Danilo Cavalcante scaled a wall and jumped off a roof. Officials say the guard was an 18-year veteran who had a cell phone on him in violation of prison rules. Cavalcante is serving a life sentence for the murder of his ex-girlfriend. The police manhunt is focusing on an area southwest of Philadelphia. A legal battle is brewing for daycares in Calgary that are linked to an E. coli outbreak. Some parents whose children have been infected are considering a class action lawsuit as cases climb to more than 140 today. CTV's Alberta Bureau Chief Bill Fortier has the details.
As the number of children in hospital with E. coli-related infection grows, so does frustration from parents.
Well, this has been really difficult for us.
Like Sarah McDonald, who's been bringing her son in for tests every day for nearly a week.
The blood tests are not exactly looking the way that we want them to look, so we're not out of that danger zone quite yet.
The outbreak, linked by health officials to a caterer that supplies several Calgary daycares, now includes 142 confirmed cases. 26 patients are in hospital, 11 of them are children with serious illness, and at least one is on dialysis.
We do anticipate that our case numbers will stabilize as we move into the weekend and next week.
Alberta Health Services is investigating and says staff have helped prepare some of the impacted daycares to reopen next week.
Facilities will only reopen if we are confident that health and safety will not be affected.
While children battle illness, another fight will play out in a courtroom. Lawyers for one parent have filed a lawsuit against the daycares and the caterer, seeking at least $150,000 per family, plus more damages to be determined at trial.
We claim damages for pain and suffering.
The goal is a class action lawsuit.
I would anticipate that there will likely be a lot more families that are involved.
We have no end in sight for these daily hospital visits, and it's just been beyond traumatizing.
Brittany Chapman plans to join. She says her 3-year-old daughter Taylor has gone through an ordeal, and she's demanding an explanation.
There needs to be some accountability and some ownership, and the parents deserve answers.
For families, this will be a lengthy process. First, a judge has to certify the class action, then comes the court battle. So a resolution could be years away. Heather.
Thanks, Bill. All week, we've been looking at problems in Canada's healthcare system along with potential solutions. Tonight, we have a story about Canadians who leave the country rather than face delays for treatment. As part of our critical care series, CTV's Judy Trin looks at the long waits and one patient's life-saving choice.
Alison Ducloseau thought she was a healthy 57-year-old until severe stomach pain sent her to the emergency room. Then came the sudden diagnosis of terminal abdominal cancer.
At the beginning of February, I had an appointment with a surgeon who told me I was inoperable and told me my lifespan would be somewhere between 2 months and 2 years.
Even though her time was running out, Ducloseau was told it would take at least 2 months before she could see an oncologist.
I wasn't certain whether it was because of bureaucracy or because of a lack of resources, but I felt like I was being sent home to die.
Across the country, Canadians are waiting longer to get medical treatment from specialists. When you combine the time it takes to see a specialist with the delays in getting treatment, the average wait time is now more than 27 weeks.
This is really a crisis that's been decades in the making.
Research by the Fraser Institute shows that Ontarians face the shortest wait at 20 weeks, while residents of Prince Edward Island can wait longer than 64 weeks. Ducloseau's family researched options outside of Canada, in Taiwan and the United States. They found a hospital in Baltimore that could remove her tumor and provide heated chemotherapy drugs to fight her cancer.
And it's treatment that I should have been able to have at home, were our system not so overburdened.
Why would Canadians, in a system where you're supposed to get free treatment, be going to a different country? Well, it's because that treatment is not being delivered.
We've had a very significant increase in population in BC.
To clear its backlog of cancer patients, this summer, British Columbia began sending hundreds of people to hospitals in Washington state for radiation therapy at 3 times the cost. The health minister says that will buy time to hire more doctors and get new equipment.
It's seeing people's need and responding to it. And to not do it, to not do this for some, oh, we're afraid of the issue, we won't do it, would be the wrong thing.
Ducloseau was back at work in less than a month. Her surgery cost her more than $200,000, money she no longer has for retirement. But she has time for life. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Extremely dry conditions can be found in almost every region of BC as the province deals with the most severe drought in years. In some of the hardest hit areas, new water rules are now being imposed. On the Sunshine Coast, there's concern essential drinking water could run out. CTV's BC Bureau Chief Melanie Nagy explains.
BC's Chapman Lake is an essential water source for thousands of people on the Sunshine Coast. But an intense, drawn-out drought has left the lake dangerously low. To preserve what little drinking water remains, the entire region was hit with severe restrictions today.
You never want to get to where you do not have sufficient water for your hospitals and for your firefighting and for basic use.
The newly imposed rules mean all outdoor water usage is banned, including construction sites, greenhouses, and residential homes. But it's not just the Sunshine Coast. Large parts of the province are struggling with water scarcity. The provincial government says about 80% of BC is at drought level 4 or 5. Both are the highest rankings and considered extreme. The reservoirs in the tourist town of Tofino are also alarmingly low. There's been little to no rain for weeks.
We've actually received 75% less than a standard summer would provide for us.
With that, businesses are being encouraged to only offer bottled water, minimize washing, and replace restrooms with non-flush porta potties.
Some things might look a little bit different as visitors come in, but they're all in the mindset of helping us.
The dry conditions are also taking a toll on farmers. Many have had to import hay from the U.S. because their own fields failed from lack of water. Back on the Sunshine Coast, farm owners are asking for a total exemption to the new restrictions.
We're producing food, and we cannot just put a pause on our business and resume after we lose crops.
As for that vital rain, in many parts of BC, the current forecast isn't showing much precipitation for the coming weeks. Melanie Nagy, CTV News, Vancouver.
Meanwhile, record-breaking rainfall has paralyzed much of Hong Kong. At least 2 people have died and hundreds fled their homes after torrential rains submerged streets and this underground subway station. The remnants of a typhoon that hit the region earlier this week caused the worst deluge in the city in over a century. And late tonight, word of a deadly earthquake that has struck Morocco. The 6.8 magnitude quake turned buildings into rubble and sent people fleeing their homes in several cities. The epicenter was in the high Atlas Mountains, and officials say hundreds have been killed. Historical landmarks have also been damaged. Coming up after the break.
We're not quite keeping pace with the number of people coming into the country every month and joining that workforce.
Why more jobs may lead to more problems for Canada's economy. Plus, a heartbreaking loss for the national men's basketball team. Canada's economy gained more jobs than expected last month, despite signs of a cooling labour market. Nearly 40,000 jobs were added in August, enough to keep the unemployment rate steady at 5.5%. Though many mortgage holders are keeping a close eye on the numbers, worried they could lead the Bank of Canada to rethink its pause on interest rate hikes. More now from CTV's John Venivalle-Rao.
In store windows, you can still see plenty of job postings, with more people finding work last month than economists had expected.
We got about twice as many jobs as we thought, but remember, these are volatile numbers that bounce around from month to month.
Those 40,000 new jobs historically would be considered pretty darn good. But Statistics Canada says at a time when immigration is surging, it's not as impressive as it seems.
This isn't to say that that 40,000 number isn't strong, but what it's saying is that we have to revise up what our baseline is for a solid jobs report when the population is growing so quickly.
Remarkably, the number of those old enough to work grew by more than 100,000 in August alone, more than double the jobs created. And this year, such population growth has averaged 81,000 a month versus average monthly job gains of 25,000, suggesting the labor market is actually easing despite gains.
But in general, we're not quite keeping pace with the number of people coming into the country every month and joining that workforce.
And because of that, the job numbers alone may not prompt the Bank of Canada to rethink its pause on interest rate hikes as it tries to cool the economy and inflation. Though what may be of concern, hourly wages, which were up almost 5%.
If wages keep rising at the pace they've been going at right now, then you get this wage price spiral that makes inflation harder and harder to bring down. It makes the Bank of Canada's job a lot harder.
And yesterday, the bank's governor, Tiff Macklem, did say rates may need to rise again, with the next rate decision to come at the end of next month. John Venivalle-Rao, CTV News, Toronto.
Still ahead, stranded below the surface. The dramatic plan to rescue an experienced explorer. Rescue teams in Turkey are making final preparations to save a seriously ill American researcher trapped for days in one of the deepest caves in the world. Crews may begin the painstaking process of freeing him as soon as tomorrow. CTV's Joy Malbin has the details.
At the mouth of the Morka Cave, an extraordinary rescue mission is underway. Teams from all over the world racing to save one man, Mark Dickey. Video shows him upright and alert. The experienced explorer now receiving medical attention.
I'm doing well. Thank you.
This after the 40-year-old American scientist suffered stomach bleeding last week, critically ill, unable to move, and trapped.
Mark's health condition is stable now. His vital signs are normal. We gave 4 units of blood cell solution to him.
Now the complicated logistical challenge to extract him from one of the deepest caves in the world. Imagine the Empire State Building times that by 3. That's how far below the earth he is. It's not one straight line to get out, and conditions are tough.
It involves crawling through squeezes. It's muddy, it's wet, it's cold.
Teams using small explosives are blasting the narrow passages so they can take Dickey out on a stretcher. They've split the cave into 7 sections. Rescue teams and doctors will be by his side to make sure he's okay.
He still has
the gastrointestinal bleed. Therefore, they're going to have to be really careful about him exerting himself.
The head of Turkey's rescue mission calls this one of the most difficult cave extractions ever. And in this video, Dicky couldn't be more grateful.
The quick response of the Turkish government to get the medical supplies that I needed, in my opinion, saved my life. I was very close to the edge.
Hoping to take his first steps on the surface soon, a climb experts say will take days. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
Canada's bid for a World Cup basketball championship fell short today in the Philippines.
Barrett with the big man on him, drives at him and lays it in.
New York Knicks star R.J. Barrett led the way for Team Canada with 23 points, but it wasn't enough. The Canadians lost to Serbia in the semifinals. Canada, which qualified for next summer's Paris Olympics earlier in the tournament, will play the U.S. on Sunday in the bronze medal game. The Americans were upset by Germany. After the break, preserving historic roots. The artists helping to carve a growing relationship. A fallen tree in most Canadian towns just gets hauled away, but in Sharon, Ontario, it's helping to form a new path instead. In tonight's Indigenous Circle, CTV's Donna Sound looks at a new sculpture springing out of the past.
Unveiling a piece of art carved into a centuries-old tree to grow a new relationship between communities.
Oh, you did the feather part
Yeah.
of it.
Donald Kretchen designed the piece.
Immediately, the stump already looked like a hand holding something. So right away, it was a hand holding a feather. There was no second doubts.
The inspiration for the 6-meter-high structure came after the 200-year-old tree fell on the grounds of the Sharon Temple Historical Site and Museum.
The entire project was 2 years, so 1 year of planning with Donald Kretchen, and then the next year was carving.
Once complete, the Hope sculpture will be surrounded by 7 stones representing the 7 grandfather teachings and the 4 sacred medicines. It was the idea of Laurie Woodyat, who wanted to pay tribute to the children forced to attend residential schools.
I kept thinking, well, if I want to go and reflect and pay tribute to the children that they're discovering, where would I go to do that? And there wasn't any place.
It's here to give an opportunity for people to learn about First Nation history, one that was hidden from so many Canadians.
I think this is a good stepping stone for people to have somewhere to come, reflect, and learn about that part of Canada's history that not everybody knows about.
Preserving these roots and the history behind the artwork's meaning, giving a hand up to a culture that was almost buried. Donna Sound, CTV News, Sharon, Ontario.
That is our newscast for tonight. I'm Heather Butts for Omar and all of us at CTV National News. Thanks for watching. John Ehrlichman will be here tomorrow. Good night and have a great weekend.